One thing I will do quickly before we go to listener questions, and that's your cue to get some ready, Danny, is Ian Wright's comments on foreign fans. Now, Mike, you are a foreign fan.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I heard the groan there. Mike, you are a common fan. What do you make of his comments?
Well, I woke up to the hubbub this morning, and look, Danny, I've just seen your tweet on this, so I know that we're not necessarily going to agree on this 100%. But whether it was banter, whether he was provoked, I mean, it's disappointing to hear that from someone that you look up to and is a legend. I mean, the comments he made were just flat out wrong. And he's admitted some, whether he was kind of shamed into apologizing or not, I don't know. But it's a sensitive subject because we're constantly being told that we're lesser than. There's an inferiority complex. There's no doubt amongst people who care. Otherwise, people just don't care. But, the funny part about it was that he was insulting somebody who used to be an usher at Highbury and is a British expat. So, I mean, he didn't even have the right target to his insult. But
how's it an insult? He's in case people haven't seen it, it's uh-oh, exclamation mark. Another million-mile-away Arsenal fan pipes up. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Do one, pal. I'm busy trying to deal with the troops in the trenches. Go back to watching Fargo, 5 smiley faces. Now,
did you see the next tweet?
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, but the tweet the bloke did in the first place is deleted. I can't find the original tweet anywhere. I can see the tweet before it and the tweet after it because this was at 2:38 a.m. UK time, and the bloke has got one before it and then got one after it. So either he's deleted his tweet. But if you went, Ian, do you hate foreign fans? Ian would go, no.
Well, no. His son plays in America.
Were you having a joke with me? I'm a Dolphins fan, and if an American Dolphins legend like Dan Marino went, "Oh, all English people who like NFL don't get it or are idiots," I'd go, "All right, fair enough." There you go. Why not? Why does everyone have to take so much insult at something that Ian Wright says? He hasn't. Plus, you can't. He could have been smiling when he was doing it. He's put 8 smiley faces in there, so he obviously doesn't mean exactly as he was saying. I mean, he's made a little cheeky dig at Fargo, which everyone loves, was a great film and a fantastic TV series. He isn't serious. He doesn't really mean that. And I know that he did a few follow-up ones where he got fucked off with people having a go at him. Unless he says it to your face, and that you shouldn't take it as he was deliberately trying to insult people, because I honestly don't think he was.
Well, I think he mouthed off. I think he was absolutely trying to insult people. Whether those are his true feelings or not is up for debate. But the follow-up comment is about wasting your time getting up at 3:30 in the morning to watch the Arsenal when we don't understand the game.
Yeah, but do you see what the bloke's tweets was before that? He was the bloke put, if these shitheads tie the game, I'll shit figurative chickens. And after that, I have to be up for work in 14 hours. I don't think that's enough time to get a good night's sleep. So that's why Ian made the comment about getting up at 3 a.m. to watch a game. Because but the bloke has deleted the tweet that was before those ones. And so Ian's just having a laugh with me. Why put the smiley faces in there? If he wanted to have a go at him, he could have done it and been a lot more nasty than that.
But Danny, he did go full Gimli later on in the afternoon. I think it was one of those cases where, as a neutral, you're kind of sat there thinking, Ian, put the phone down. You're not achieving anything from carrying on arguing.
All he has to do is listen to someone like our Dom or American Jace or Jeff, and
or
you
Welsh
hear those.
Jason. Welsh Jason as well.
He knows nothing. It's all rugby with him. But you get any of those three, they're just our good mates. You get any of those, they talk better football than I ever could do. The way that Jeff analyses a game, or the insight that Jace and Dom has to a game. So no one's questioning foreign fans. So I don't see why people get so upset about it. They just go, oh, you know nothing about football, and then that's your chance, like Mike and Andy do. Like Andy's half American anyway. The way those two with their podcasts and all the other, I've got a list of 62 Arsenal podcasts. The vast majority, I would say, have belonging to them or are by foreign fans, and they talk a hell of a lot more sense than most of the retards on Twitter. So just if someone says that you're a million mile away fan piping up, go, yeah, I am, and I know what I'm talking about.
But he did. I think if I read the tweet correctly, and I was stoned, or I still am, but I could have
you?
read it wrong. He kind of said, look, don't give me hatred. Put your hatred onto Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, who haven't signed contracts yet. And do you not think that that's... I mean, I love Ian Wright. For me, growing up, he was my hero. I've met him, and he is as nice in the flesh as what he makes out on...
He smells good.
He does smell good. But do you think that's the wrong kind of message to give out to Arsenal hating fans, or to give out to Arsene Wenger hating fans, or maybe people who spit their vitriol on Arsenal Twitter week in, week out? For me, that's the wrong kind of message to give away, Andrew.
Yeah, I do think he went full Neuer. It was reminding me of that scene from The Office when David Brent's drunk and he's lying in his bed. And he's saying how it's going to cost them. He went from bad to what he kind of improved somewhat when he made the public apology. Which, listen, it's not really for me to be telling people what they should. If Mike was offended, as a fan who lives abroad, and it is quite his right. I've never, someone said I would never really understand. Or I don't. It's not that I don't understand, but I'm not that empathetic because I don't. It's not something that's aimed at me. Whereas I can understand why the kind of the community of fans abroad would take that as offensive and would see that. And I think someone like Ian, who's got such a large fan base, and someone who works at the BBC, I imagine his 606 and 5 Live shows are probably, they're probably distributed to people all worldwide. He should know better, but it's one of those where he gets so much abuse on Twitter. He's and let's be honest, footballers aren't all summa cum laudes in common sense. A lot of them are idiots, and Ian can be emotional, and he does say silly things, and he'll be the first to admit that when he was growing up, he was a bit of a silly hothead, and that does show in some of what he says now, and he kind of does need to sometimes just put the phone down and take a step back, because he made up for it. He made his apology, and then I think Mo retweeted the apology, and then he got some more abuse, and then he started kicking off again, and it just felt like he just needed to sit back and kind of share one of your bongs with you, Kim, because he really let himself down, I think.
I mean, I know that he after he apologized, and it was an unreserved apology. Again, people keep abusing him over it, and you can't. If you want to keep talking about when he was wrong and hadn't apologized yet, you have to recognize that that the apology was made. For me, we're used to hearing it all the time from people who don't really have a public voice other than through Twitter, and it's just disappointing to hear it from somebody who's so looked up to, such a legend of the club, an idol, and has a son who plays in New York. I mean, it just that's practically the only reason I thought he might be kidding, is because he of all people should know how rabid the fan base can be and how into football we are over here. So just kind of stung a little bit, but I don't think less of the guy after he made the apology. Is just a little sore spot.